The basis of future observations in the Materia Medica are how to study the Materia Medica. Page number 392.
The basis of future observations in the Materia Medica are how to study the Materia Medica. Homeopathy is an art and a science of life because it is a study of living subjects. The law is revealed by phenomena evolved in living people, not in dead substances. Observations on dead substances are so far removed from living things and from life itself that they may properly be considered entirely outside of a science of living beings. They form a purely external science, an abstract science, and should be considered removed and apart from the object to which the law relates. In the laboratory has been discovered no remedy for living people, and its investigations have not benefited the dead. The laboratory conducts study not of life, not of disease, but of results of disease. The causes are sometimes continued into effects is true, but knowledge of the ending of causes is useless except in relation to knowledge of their beginnings and the course by which they develop. The beginnings of perverted life are not found in pathology nor in the laboratory, not even by the use of the microscope. Symptoms of sickness are the only discoverable manifestations of the perverted vital economy. In these symptoms, we can see clearly the likeness of every disease and the likeness of the curative remedy for each. Symptoms are the only manifestation by which disease can make itself known to an intelligent physician. It is not the fault of nature's God that man is not wise enough to read these symptoms. Men who are the victims of self-intelligence think that they can work out of dead matter the cause, the progress, and the curative agents of sickness. This never has been done. In time, this idea will be looked upon as the whim of antiquity. The law of cure, known as the law of similars, is a law of God. It was always so acknowledged by Hahnemann. Hahnemann ఎప్పుడు చెప్పినా నేచర్స్ లేకపోతే గాడ్ గివెన్ అన్నాడు కానీ తన సొంతం అనేటువంటిది ఎక్కడ అనలేదు. It has always dealt with manifestations, not with results of vital changes, dead substances. So must it ever be. So must it ever be. When man knows the law and the significance of the phenomena, he will perceive the relation of sick images in sick people and in our pathogenesis. When he knows the science of homeopathy, he will perceive beginnings of disease in childhood, its progress through life, and its ultimates after death. When these are considered collectively, they make one grand whole. When they are considered separately, there is always something lacking. దేనికదిగా చూసుకుంటే ఏది ఉండదు. ఆ మొత్తం అంతటినీ కలిపి ఒక గ్రాండ్ హోల్గా అర్థం చేసుకుంటే, when the ultimates only are known, there is a dead science worked out on the dead, useless to the living. An eminent pathologist once said to me, we shall know how to cure this patient when we know the pathology. I then asked him, when shall we know the pathology? He replied, when we have made a postmortem. Nothing has been discovered on the dead separated from the living subject to which it was related that has ever led to a remedy for sickness. Only dangerous palliatives and makeshifts that kill as often as they cure and harm more than they benefit have ever been discovered. Any that can be mentioned will be found to be of small value in comparison to the remedies that conform to real remedial action, whereby all living manifestations have been called into use through intelligent application. When the laboratory can tell us what man loves and what he hates, when it can give us a complete image of his rational mind with all its deviations from the normal, when it can tell which are sensitive to cold, to heat, to dry weather and to storms, then may we look to this dead science for help outside of symptomatology. అలాంటివన్నీ కనుక మైక్రోస్కోప్ కనుక్కోగలిగితే అప్పుడు మనం దాని మీద బేస్ అవ్వచ్చు. The sooner we learn to see the true classification and individualization by life science during sickness, the sooner shall we cure sick people so satisfactorily that we shall not haunt for remedies in results of disease. Contemplate the millions of dollars squandered in laboratory research without yet yielding knowledge of the cause of bacteria. Has it ever shed any light upon the soil or the precise condition of our vital fluids to furnish us knowledge of the lack of resistance and of susceptibility? Has it told us of the real condition of the inherited tendency, which is that weakly condition which ends in tuberculosis, cancer or wasting disease? అవేమీ చెప్పలేకపోయారు కదా ఆ ప్రొసీజర్స్ అన్ని.
Yet these conditions that tend toward tuberculosis and cancer are so well known to the wise followers of Hahnemann by signs and symptoms that at this day all can be cured, of their inheritances. They can be tested and cured. Tested not by laboratory discovery but by methods familiar to the modern followers of the immortal Hahnemann. ఎంతలాగా వాడతాడు అసలు. by the methods familiar to the modern followers of the immortal Hahnemann. These things must be discovered by studying the things of the will, the understanding and the physical signs and symptoms as they exist in the similarity of the drug provings. Study of the living must aid us to cure the idiotic and weak-minded children. Laboratories cannot do it. కాబట్టి వాడికి ఆ డ్రగ్ వాడికి ఇడియసీ ఉన్నవాడికి, అమాయకుడుగా ఉన్నటువంటి వాడికి మైల్ స్టోన్స్ బ్యాక్గా ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి, వాడి డెవలప్మెంట్ లేని వాడికి ఆ మెడిసిన్ వేస్తే అది పనిచేసి వాళ్ళే మార్పు వస్తుందంటే అర్థం అది హెల్దీ పర్సన్ మీద అది ఇచ్చిన ప్రూవింగే తప్ప దీన్ని ల్యాబొరేటరీలో మైక్రోస్కోప్లో దీని ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఇలా ప్రూవ్ చేసామనేవేవి పనికిరావంటున్నాడు. ఏ ఫిజిషియన్ ఈజ్ వన్ హూ నోస్ హౌ టు హీల్ ది సిక్. ఫస్ట్ ఎఫారిజంలో ఆయన ఇచ్చింది అదే కదా, మొట్టమొదటి ఓపెనింగ్ ఎఫారిజం. ది డ్యూటీ ఆఫ్ ది ఫిజిషియన్ ఈజ్ టు హీల్ ది సిక్. Be a pathologist and not to have a careful knowledge of the materia medica and of how to use it is not being a physician. I have known some good prescribers who did excellent curing of sick people and had a limited knowledge of pathology. ప్యాథాలజీలో ఆ నాలెడ్జ్ లేకుండా జాగ్రత్తగా స్టడీ చేసి మెటీరియా మెడికా, ఆర్గనాన్, ఫిలాసఫీ చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళు వండర్ఫుల్ థింగ్స్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు నాకు తెలుసు. అదే ప్యాథాలజీ తెలియక కదా లక్కీగా. The thoroughly rounded physician is one who adds to his knowledge of the art of selecting remedies according to the law of similarity a knowledge of diagnosis and pathology. దానికి ఈ ప్యాథాలజికల్ నాలెడ్జ్ మనం యాడ్ చేసుకుని దాని ప్రకారం అది చూసుకోవడం అనేటువంటిది చేయగలిగినటువంటి వాడు సరైన, అంటే వీడి ప్రాక్టీస్లో వీడికి వచ్చినటువంటి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్లో వాటికి దీన్ని అంతేగాని వీటిని బట్టి అవి ప్రిస్క్రైబ్ చేస్తా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు లాభం లేదంటున్నాడు. There are times when he must give advice to patients that are incurable. He must know pathology and diagnosis. There are kinds of pathology most useful to the intelligent prescriber, but this knowledge never is useful in the mind of man ignorant of the art of prescribing. ఆర్ట్ ప్రిస్క్రిప్షన్లో మందులు ఇవ్వడంలో ఆర్ట్ తెలియని వాడికి ఇవేం ఉపయోగం లేదంటున్నాడు. The pathologist considers the disease instead of the patient. The physician considers the patient and perceives the sick patient in the symptoms that represent the personality of the sick man. Diseases and results are much the same in all beings, but man and lower animals, both man and lower animals, and no individualizing is possible by studying a disease or its pathology. క్యాన్సర్ వచ్చిన వాళ్ళందరినీ ఇండివిజువలైజేషన్ ఏం చేస్తాం, అందరికీ ఆ సింటమ్స్ ఉండబట్టే క్యాన్సర్ అంటున్నాం. మలేరియా వచ్చిన వాళ్ళందరికీ అవే సింటమ్స్ ఉండబట్టి మలేరియా అంటున్నాం. దాంట్లో ఇండివిజువలైజేషన్ లాభం లేదంటున్నాం. యానిమల్స్లోనూ నువ్వు ఇండివిజువలైజ్ చేసి ఈ పద్ధతిలో వెళ్తే హ్యూమన్స్లోనూ దేంట్లోనే సరే ఇండివిజువలైజింగ్ అనేటువంటిది నువ్వు చేయగలగడం దేనివల్ల అవుతుంది, ఆ ముందు దానివల్ల. ఆల్ పీపుల్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ ది సేమ్ pathology when affected with the same disease. What is common will never lead the physician to perceive what is peculiar to any individual.